Alrighty, let's take a look at this question. So it says the partial graph of blah, 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 but essentially you want to notice that it's sine, where a is greater than 0, so there hasn't been any vertical reflection, and x is in radians is shown below. 2 of the max and 2 of the min points are labeled. Okay. The minimum positive value of c, so c is basically your horizontal phase shift or horizontal translation of that trig graph. Now, in order to determine which point we want to look at for C, we got to recognize that the sine function, normally the midline point of the sine function is on the y-axis. And if you're not sure about that, you can always graph y equals sine x and take a look at the graph. So it's that midline point that we're looking for as you go up. So that would be right here. Say the midline somewhere in here. So we're looking for that point, how far off the y-axis it's been shifted to. So really you're talking about the x values. So we've got negative pi over 6 and 5 pi over 6. And since that defines the min and the max, the midway point should be halfway between those. So halfway between something, think about a simpler example. If you have, say, a number line and you have 1 and you have 5, halfway between would be 3. But an easy way to get that is sort of like do it like the average, right? So you'd go 1 plus 5 divided by 2, add them together, divide by 2, and that would give you the 3, the middle point. So we're going to use that same concept on a little uglier numbers. So 5 pi over 6 plus negative pi over 6, add them together, divide by 2 would give you kind of your average value, or the in-between, the middle point of those two values. Okay, so given that all the answers are in decimals, you could totally throw that in the calculator with the pi's in it, and it should give you the answer A. Or you can crunch it out by hand and go, that would be 4 pi over 6 divided by 2, and divide by 2 is like times 1/2, and knock that down to a 2, knock that down to 3. So the exact value would be pi over 3 would be where that middle point is. But pi divided by 3 in the calculator gives you 1.05 approximately to the nearest hundredth. And there we go. So finding that value is fun, but there you go. That's how you do it. Alrighty. Now, that's not the only way you could do it, but that is by far the quickest. So there you go. Hope that helped.